Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Serena, your today's host for the conference. I'm a program manager at Platinum Global Solution, and it's a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to this BPO and Share Services Excellence e-conference 2021. Thank you all for joining this virtual meeting, and I hope every one of you enjoying their best health. Whether you are attending this event for the first time or you have been a part of our top-notch conferences before, I'm sure that your experience at this PPO and Share Services Excellence e-conference 2021 will be worthwhile and productive. So our conferences have a reputation among delegates and suppliers as a must-attend event. I hope that the highly focused business development opportunities to the cutting-edge conference program and the numerous networking opportunities will all contribute to a successful and enjoyable event for you. So now I would like to warmly welcome our key presenters for today's conference. Now I will introduce you all to our speaker lineup. So our first presenter will be Dr. Patricia Francis, Head of Sanofi Business Services Kuala Lumpur Center from Sanofi. She will be sharing her expertise on Revive and Thrive, continuing to motivate your workforce. Then we will be having Brandy Dagenan. She is the CEO at Pyre Health Group, NHS Primary Healthcare. She will be presenting on leading innovation and achieving continuous improvement, key to success for business manager to perform leadership. Then we have Raj Chaudhary, and he is a Vice President Global Services Group from American Express, and his thoughts will be on drive efficiency and automation and provide more digitally enabled servicing experience to our customers. Then we have Mahaila Kretu. She is a Group Director, Global Share Services from Puertos, and her topic is Global Process Standardization. Then we will be having a short break for 15 minutes, and then our next presenter will be Byron Flores. He is a head of record to report and financial accounting from Novartis, and he will be speaking on the Great Resignation 2021. Is it a topic only for the USA? And then we will be having with us is Katie Murato, Head of Business Process Management, Transformation from Asahi Europe and International. She will be covering business processes at the center of business transformation. And then we will be having Inka Grahan, Finance Director from Fremery Acoustics. She will be exploring finance capabilities transformation. And then we have Stephen Marco, RTR Service Delivery Lead at Cargotech. He will be sharing his expertise on benefits of centralized audit, transformation from traditional month and close to continuous accounting. Then we have Rohit Ganju. He is a global director HR share services from OLX Group. He will share his expertise on why GBS or SSC organizations fail to achieve their maximum value. Then we have Ivan Branko. He's the head of portfolio and end-to-end process from Volvo Group. He's going to explore proven technologies in the area of automation, impacting operational processes and the employee's perspective. Then we have Benjamin Sokolowiski, and he is internal transformation specialist at Wintershall DEA. His topic is taking the opportunity to transform your process and being brave to change. So that's it for the speaker lineup. And I hope we would learn new ideas from each other, which we could adopt to further improve our work in this important area. So our opening presenter for today's conference is Dr. Patricia Francis, and she is head of Sanofi Business Services at Sanofi. And hi, Patricia, how are you?
Hi, Serena. I'm good. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. And it's good to have you as a keynote speaker at our conference. And Patricia, can you please share your screen with us?
All right. Let me know when you can see it.
Yeah, I can see your slides properly. So you can start your presentation now. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Serena.
Good luck.
Greetings to all our honorable speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to be invited to be part of the honorable speakers of this BPO and Shared Service Excellence e-Conference 2021. Thanks to COVID, technology has taken the center stage of all our lives globally. Despite all the adverse effects of COVID, the pandemic has led to the great digital leap and acceleration in transformation by forcefully breaking away all resistance to change with new ways of working in most organizations, including BPOs and shared services. With that, motivating our workforce has become even more challenging in an all-remote VUCA environment we live in, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and full of ambiguity. This demands us to avoid traditional, outdated management and leadership approaches besides new ways of working to keep our workforce engaged and motivated. I'm Dr. Patricia Francis, Head of Sanofi Business Services Kuala Lumpur Center, Malaysia. I'm a chartered accountant with 20 years of strategy and operations excellence in audit, accounting, and cross-functional consulting in varied industries and complex shared service environments in Fortune 500 multinationals. I started my career as an auditor and practiced as an accountant before moving into a consulting space, which was my last stint prior to joining Sanofi. As an avid learner who believes in lifelong learning and continuous development, I pursued my doctorate 8 years ago with a thesis in technology adoption amongst leadership and accountants in order to marry both technology and accounting. All that I've done has since groomed me for my current role where I'm responsible to manage the organizational setup, support transition from the region into the captive center, develop high-performance culture to motivate our employees, and stakeholder engagement for China, Asia, JPAC, and Greater Gulf. I'm very passionate about people development as I believe that people are the key to the success of any organization. With that, I continually strive to create an empowering environment where leaders walk the talk and people feel that their voice matters. With that, let me give you an introduction to Sanofi, my esteemed organization. As one of the global healthcare leaders, Sanofi is dedicated to supporting people as a health journey partner in more than 170 countries. Headquartered in France, Sanofi is a global top employer with over 100,000 employees worldwide. We have 21 research development sites as we are driven to improve the health of communities and to find new solutions for patients by combining breakthrough science and advanced technology. As a result, we are able to provide innovative solutions for common conditions, rare diseases, chronic conditions, and also protect support communities through our vaccines. Empowering life in 2 words encapsulates our vision and sense of purpose at Sanofi. In Malaysia, we are currently the top 3 pharmaceuticals, and we have been in Malaysia for almost 50 years at the moment. We currently are a more than 400 employees people force, and we have 1 international business service center where I come from. And so with that, Sanofi Business Service Center is one of the 2 global business service centers within Sanofi, which has integrated all internal Sanofi accounting and HR services across China, Asia, Japan, and Greater Gulf out of Kuala Lumpur. We are part of a 1,600 odd community, which has been tasked to deliver efficient, effective, and user-centric solutions to Sanofi employees, partners, and vendors with the streamlining of activities using a standardized global core model and to ensure that the life of everyone becomes easier every day. Standardization, automation, simplification, and delivery of KPIs are our DNA. In Kuala Lumpur, our main focus has been our people as we drive diversity and inclusion, provide a well-defined talent management, training, and foster the relevant fun at work as we believe that people are our greatest asset. Winning the top employer at global, Asia Pacific, and Malaysia level is a strong confirmation that our efforts to offer a dynamic and an inclusive workplace are standing out at all levels. Revive, Thrive, continuing to motivate our workforce. Lessons learned from SBS KL Center would be something that I'm going to share with all of you today. So in my view, the golden triangle sums the crux towards creating a service-oriented digital workforce. Why do I say this? Because technology, process, and people are all interdependent. However, the most important component are our people. No matter how great a technology you may have and improvised processes being introduced, we can't do away without having the right people on board. Far too often, business transformation efforts concentrate on the implementation of new technologies and process improvement strategies while ignoring the people aspects of the change initiatives. Subsequently, the transformation initiatives do not achieve their desired results, especially when our people are not fully motivated and engaged. The break of dawn hinges not only on motivated and empowered employees that can solve problems on their own, but those who can combine capabilities with that of digital technology competencies to become a truly service-oriented workforce, which is ready to support a sustainable transformation. With that, we have adopted a purpose-driven leadership to create a service-oriented digital workforce at SBS KL Center. While the concept of motivation may be straightforward, motivating employees in a real-life situation is far more challenging. As leaders, we are asked to understand what motivates each individual on our team and manage them accordingly. What a challenging ask for leaders, particularly those who, with large team and dispersed teams, especially in a remote condition, feel overwhelmed with their workloads. And so with that, I'd like to share 5 keys in building motivating a service-oriented digital workforce, which more than money can do. This is something that we have actually learned from adopting it in SBS KL Center, Kuala Lumpur. The first one is basically to establish a positive, do great here culture with clear career path. Next, what we worked on was to provide opportunities for learning and development to form a strong people foundation. Then we worked on also to create high performance. We created a collaborative landscape by leveraging digital tools. Next, we embedded integrated change management. And lastly, we ensured that we were able to appreciate and recognize the contribution of all our employees to provide that sense of purpose and worth within the organization. So when I speak about establishing a positive, do great culture with clear career path, is basically to create a distinctive culture which is critical to provide the central reason for the workforce to be proud and motivated at work. Company culture, we all know, can play a major role in driving employee motivation, as shown by research conducted by Deloitte, which found a strong correlation between employees who claim to feel happy and valued at work and those who regard their organization as having a strong culture. The culture of our organization is its personality, and this is what we learn through our people. It's what makes a difference from all others. It's what attracts talents and make the talents want to stay with you for the long haul, no matter what challenges they face along the way. Next, we're talking about having empathetic leaders who focus on people engagement activities covering social, well-being, diversity and inclusion elements to heighten the collaboration and fun within the center to drive a performance culture. You don't necessarily have to be a ruthless taskmaster to effectively motivate your employees. Compassionate qualities such as self-awareness and ability to put yourself in the shoes of others and giving every member of your team the support they need to thrive can be just as important. As a people's person, I personally found it important to build a culture that prioritizes well-being and care, and where we have been mindful of the risk of burnout within our teams with the introduction of wellness programs with virtual yoga, Zumba, aerobics classes to employee assistance program to support the mental health of our workforce with anonymous counseling support. With the current remote work environment, it is really critical to ensure that our employees are well supported. Diversity and inclusion, on the other hand, is important for making everyone feel comfortable being their true, authentic selves. The more diverse and inclusive your organization is, the less afraid your employees will be to share their perspective and insights. In a positive company culture that actually values the contribution of those from a wide range of demographics and background, this in turn will motivate them to give their best in the knowledge that they will be seen in the company and to be able to make a difference. Next, we created a Do Great Here hashtag to support employee value proposition. This is basically to convey an uplifting message both internally about thriving and doing great at what you do as part of the SBS KL Center to support SBS talent retention, and also to be competitive in the market, especially to junior to mid-level talents within the GBS industry, which is our focus area of hiring. Lastly, we also worked on a detailed combined career path that was created to articulate a plan of progression to fuel the motivation and drive to do great here at both our KL Center and also Budapest, as it is important for us to drive parity between both captive centers. As leaders at both captive centers, my fellow counterpart in Budapest and I found that it was not enough just to enroll employees on training courses, but it was more motivating for us to show them how they could climb the career ladder with a constant discussion with their managers as well. This is to include their aspirations, and as they work together to achieve them, it gives us a strong retention advantage. We realize that the real sense of effort being rewarded with wider opportunities, whether it's a promotion or horizontal move within the same department or another area of the business, or working in a new role in another country altogether, will fuel the motivational drive within our organization. This fact is actually supported with the findings that was done by SSON APAC Shared Services Market Report, where talent management was actually the first priority for 2021. And you will see that in most or 93% of the APAC-based respondents, they say that they need to be feeling appreciated within the company, and to be able to move within the organization was something that they were looking at before they actually look out. Besides that, you will also see that most employees stay within their roles between 1 to 3 years, and that actually comprise about 62% of the workforce. And so it is actually a critical bit, which is more than half of our employees, for us to ensure that the retention strategy works within the organization. Next, the findings from APAC was also where members learn to transition within the same SSON settings, or move into different roles within the business, or also move into functional roles within the business, which comprise to the 62% of those who move. And so with that, we ensured that we build the relevant talents and also portfolios to ensure that our talents do not move outside, but stay with us for a longer haul. This is also supported with the finding that the data need to be readily available for people to learn within the organization, and to keep upskilling our employees was one of the asks of the employees. We can see that one of the main reasons for leaving the organization, besides better career progression and promotion, which we could create with the great career path that we worked on, was the desire to expand their skill set, and because they were feeling stagnant. So with that, what we have actually done in 2021 was to provide opportunities for learning and development to form a strong people foundation within our organization. What we found was that analytical capabilities and innovative mindsets enables employees to grasp the opportunities on existing data, lean awareness encourages a problem-solving culture where everyday problems and frustrations are quickly resolved. Besides that, we also believe that having the right soft skills such as conflict resolution, emotional intelligence, time management are critical to help employees fully utilize the hard skills. Without equipping them with the relevant soft skills, however, in much investment we provide in terms of the hard skills will not be fully utilized because they will not know how to use it within the organization. With that, employees were also taught to actually have an ability to reinvent themselves to form a digital workforce that is truly service orientated. A lot of them within the organization tend to stay stagnant because they were in their comfort zone. They do not want to learn new things or to move into new areas. So that caused a lot of stagnancy within the organization. So what we have actually taught our employees with the learning and training provided is that they need to reinvent themselves constantly to be able to stay abreast with the globalization and all that is to come. So with that, with the strengthening of the organization by skilling, upskilling, and reskilling both on hard and soft skills with tools, what we have done is to create a high-performance collaborative landscape by leveraging on digital tools. So when I talk about tools, what I'm actually talking about is simple tools like MS Excel, lean awareness and methodologies, agile methodologies, design thinking, and also the usage of Power BI are just some of the examples that I would like to quote during this session to say that how we can actually build a collaborative landscape within our organization. And along with this, when we equip our people with soft skills, we are able to create a service-oriented digital workforce which is able to cultivate automation mindset for more ideation, more access to developers at no additional cost, empowered to build simple automation for quick turnaround, and they are also fully released to do more value-added work. We know that with the height of transformation and globalization, we need to quickly move into value-added organizations instead of being pure cost centers. So for us, BPOs and shared services, besides cost element, we need to start bringing in the value into the organization, the intrinsic one, which can only be done when we actually keep skilling, upskilling our people, and also to build the right collaborative platform for them to work in. This will help them have a support group within themselves. So what we have done within SBS KL Center is to also create a lean automation community landscape, which was my brainchild, to drive efficiency through lean community, lean awareness, and lean automation. So when I talk about this community, what I'm talking about, a group of people who are comprising of lean specialists, automation champions, citizen developers, who are able to tap into technology tools and also drive the changes they need with the alignment of the global process owners. So when I talk about automation champions, I'm talking about people who are qualified with functional experience, users who have been trained with lean methodology and is able to apply their knowledge to automate processes. And when I talk about citizen developers, these are people who are functionally and technically qualified, but they are not from a technical background. But they have been trained on how to use automation tools to create simple automation for themselves and their departments. And this is actually increasing in popularity for organizations to accelerate their digital transformation program. And so with that, what we're able to achieve within the organization is end-to-end processes and automation mindset with touchless automation throughout our processes. So this has been a really successful journey for us and also a critical journey in order to bring in more robotics and automation into the organization. Next, in order to ensure the successful changes to be implemented, we need to ensure that we adopt and embed integrated change management. When I talk about integrated, I'm talking about a team which is agile to anticipate human reactions and adapt to volatile and uncertain situations to modify change measures to remain effective. Next is to ensure that we build a team which is integrated which is able to have an interplay between both facts and social interaction throughout the process and not wait until execution. So most times we are not able to build a process that is intertwined with the actual situation that happens on the ground. So this is critical in order to ensure we have the right change management strategy on board. And lastly, adapted. We need to have leadership to create a culture of continuous improvement by being transparent and collaborative to encourage change agents to create buy-in via communication and collaborative tool. The communication is key in any change management, and hence it has to go hand in hand. So what we can see also, this is substantiated with the study that was done from SSON, where they have actually quoted change management as being one of the most important capability besides process design and continuous improvement and data analytics. So you can see how critical it is for us to adopt an integrated change management within our organization. And so with that, I would also like to share my tips from adopting and embedding change management within my organization. So firstly, it has to start with the leadership. The leadership needs to be open to change to deliver value. We need to embrace a test and learn approach. We need to establish an ongoing listening mechanism to keep a pulse on ground sentiment and how our people are feeling with the change or about the change. Next is to be able to adopt agile practices in the day-to-day life, including stand-up meetings. We need to incorporate agile ways of working within how we do things. Next is to use a fast turn and informal communication channels to update employees on strategy and align expectation instead of waiting for a town hall to come every quarter. And next, to ensure that we leverage on sprints ideology to ensure relevance of any project or automation initiative. Sprints actually help us turn around very quickly when we see things do not work well as how we ought them to. And so with that, we will be able to create a value-driven, service-oriented digital workforce. Lastly, having done all of that, we need to definitely work on appreciating and recognizing the contribution to our employees in order to create that sense of purpose and worth. We need to create a culture of continuous feedback to make our employees feel great about their work. We believe that motivation is less about employees doing a great work and more about employees feeling great about their work. The better employees feel about their work, the more motivated they remain over time. The better employees feel about their work, the more they are able to grasp new concepts and to actually move from the traditional carrot or stick to motivate them, and we are able to engage in a new and meaningful dialogue about the work instead. Next, quarterly and annual recognition programs. So we created this to provide an avenue to recognize individuals and teams for the sense of purpose. So what we have done is to ensure that we not only provide an avenue to recognize them for their success in their XBS dedication, but also to those who have demonstrated the right values in support of the group strategy to support the talent retention at all levels. To do this, we have developed a recognition portal with a wall of fame at Asia level, which is published on a quarterly basis by country and also announced within our quarterly KL Center town halls. This created a great sense of worth within the organization because we believe that employees must be acknowledged and thanked equally for all their contributions and achievements. It is human nature to want to acknowledge and recognize you for your contribution, and recognizing your employees help to create emotional connection between yourself and the organization. What we also done was employee sharing of success stories internally to help inculcate a sense of belonging and pride appreciation culture, demonstrating the right values within the center, because we want to ensure employees are being the best versions of themselves by upholding Sanofi values such as teamwork, respect, integrity, and courage to deliver what we promise to our patients, customers, stakeholders, and colleagues. However, you can do far more than just minimum of financially remunerating an employee for their efforts and giving them occasional proverbial pat on the back. Indeed, it's in your own interest to praise your employees for a job well done. So that's what we have done. So in various levels, we have ensured that we have powerful elements to praise them and include the standard of success and encouraging one another to ensure they are able to do more and to be able to retain them and attract new talents. By this recognition, it comes in various forms and tailored according to each individual's preference. We ensure that we are able to manage the expectation at all levels. We also send out videos of all the best effort that they have done to ensure others know what their team members have done. Lastly, leaders and ambassadors' employee stories were published on LinkedIn to create that visibility and pride amongst the workforce and externally. And this is based on our employee value proposition pillars, which is to inspire your journey, dare to care, and cooperate with passion. Bear in mind, though, that this recognition might be different in a hybrid working world than it was in the pre-crisis world. So you may not be physically seeing your team, but then having done this on a virtual basis actually help with our retention. So for us, it was actually critical for us to recognize our employees and ensure that they feel their worth. And so that comes to the end of my sharing. And I'd like to end my sharing with a famous quote from Zig Ziglar, which says that you don't build a business, you build people, and people build your business. With that, let us focus on building our people so that they can build our businesses. Thank you. Feel free to contact me via LinkedIn or via my contact details, which is on the screen at the moment. And if at all you have any questions, you can reach me out on LinkedIn as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Patricia, for your wonderful presentation and for your perceptive presentation and for participating so effectively. So I have a question for you, and how one can thrive in today's pandemic era.
Yes, so I think during my sharing, what I've actually shared is to ensure that we develop a continuous learning attitude and ability to reinvent ourselves, because with a volatile or VUCA environment, it is constantly changing. And so you need to constantly be adapting and grow continuously to be relevant.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
So that's quite informative. So thank you so much, Patricia, for being here and adding value in our conference. We are honored to have you and looking forward to work again with you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Team.
Have a great day. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, our next presenter is Brandy Dagenan, and who is working as a CEO at Pyro Health Group, which is primary healthcare unit of NHS. She's a highly motivated, passionate, and thinks differently, and with almost 10 years of experience in business operations, transformation. She oversees the activities of the company and leads team as a CEO. And she will be with us within few moments, so stay connected. Thank you. So, hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Serena, your host, and Brandy is a little bit late. She's on her way. So Rohit will be presenting now, and our presenter's name is Rohit Genju. He is a Global Director, HR Share Services from OLX Group. Rohit has an experience of 16 plus years in discovering, designing, and engineer full site digital transformation for HR and how to bring finance, payroll, and HR together to streamline services, processes, and experience while setting up a hybrid hub structure across Americas, Europe, Middle East, and Asia. So let's welcome Rohit. So hi, Rohit, can you hear me? Can you please unmute yourself? Yeah.
Can
Hi,
you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. How are you?
Okay. I am very good. Do you see my desktop?
Yeah, I can see your slides.
Okay, fantastic. So
Thank you so much.
great. First of all, Patricia, great job. I liked your presentation. Hopefully, we'll get your slides so that we can share our knowledge with each other. Now, predominantly, what I would like to do in the next 30 minutes is to share my experience over last 17 years of implementing GBS and SSC organizations with one core focus of maximizing the value. And before I start, I think it's important for me to go and talk a bit about myself. I am an electronics engineer with an MBA in HR and several certifications. I have worked with multiple organizations, predominantly focused on setting up shared services, starting with Hewlett Packard, Philip Morris, Coca-Cola, and now OLX. Before I joined basically the industry of shared services, I have had first-hand experience on designing and rolling out electronics equipments in India with LG Electronics. My passions are around Six Sigma, Lean, Agile, and customer experience management. And it's by chance that I, moved into HR after being qualified as an engineer. What I would want to do, I don't know how many viewers we have in the webinar today. I would like all of you to go to slido.com and type in this code 1182 and 29 and select one of the four options there, which is an answer to what percentage of GBS and SSC organizations reach their maximum potential. Slido.com 118229. Okay, we have only one. There is only one response so far, so let's wait a couple of minutes. Serena, how many people are there on the conference right now?
Sorry, can you repeat it, please?
How many participants do we have in the conference today?
We are right now we are having 40 attendees with us.
40 plus, okay.
Yes.
I hope my voice is, audible.
Yeah.
There is only one person who has been able to go to Slido. I think you need to go to slido.com and type in 1182 and 29.
Okay. Just.
So I can wait a couple minutes more. No, okay. One more person has joined. I was expecting a bit more participation. Nevertheless, let's check on the answer. Predominantly, only 10% or less of the GBS and SSC organizations reach their maximum potential. And this is a very low number. And if you want to be in that 10%, there are several things that need to be done differently, starting with the basic concept of understanding why we are doing and implementing a GBS organization. So when we talk about the basic premise of why GBS and SSC organizations need to be set up for a company, there are four levers that are basically the deciding factors and decision drivers. These four are around cost savings, standardization of processes, service flexibility, and economies of scale. Now, these four levers have been there for last 25 years when the first SSC was created, and nothing has changed. Every time there is a downturn in economy and company wants to save costs or improve on the processes globally, GBS and SSC is the decision that they make. Predominantly, this is because of high levels of operational costs driven by the decentralized nature of processes and people, improved visibility and control over regulatory compliance, especially in Europe and Americas. It's now becoming quite important for companies to be on top of everything that happens within the organization to stay legally compliant, and also to increase focus and control over customer experience. Now we see, especially with COVID, since last couple of years, companies that have not been able to control the experience that is delivered to their customers are slowly withering away. So it becomes even more important to have a process in place that helps to monitor and improve the experience of the customers that are served by the companies. Now, this is basically the decision that happens in the boardroom based on these 4 levers, and somebody says, okay, Mr., go ahead and implement a shared services or a GBS. But the reality is a bit different than these 4 levers. If we look at the reality in the first 6, 9, and 12 months of starting a GBS organization, it's chaotic. So while before the GBS is implemented, the current service levels, nobody knows what the current service levels are. On the first day of implementation, everybody expects GBS to operate at 95% or more on KPIs and SLAs. In the same way, all the issues before GBS is implemented are managed at personal levels. So there is no, I would say, governance board around issues happening in the locations. But once we implement a shared services organization, the escalation management is robust with the governance around and involves senior managers and above. Nobody, technically, I should not say nobody, but predominantly it's very difficult to say how much workload is there. But once you implement GBS, you will see more often than not, the staffing is at 1:1 level. Here, most companies ignore the fact that you're replacing sometimes subject matter experts with freshers, and there is a difference. Lack of documented exceptions, a lot of exceptions happening before GBS is implemented. However, once we implement the GBS, all these exceptions can be documented. And then process maps and knowledge guides, predominantly around knowledge management. I would say 10 or 20% of the cases you have knowledge guides before you centralize all the resources. But once GBS is implemented, it becomes easy. And the expectation is that all the knowledge is managed on the fly. And then the most important difference is experts versus freshers working in a GBS. So in order to actually eliminate all these bottlenecks and be a top performing organization as a GBS, there are several things that need to happen. And most important piece is the timing of each of these actions. And I would now like to share with all of you my experience that was predominantly with Hewlett Packard, Philip Morris, and Coca-Cola, of how we did it and why, not why, how we did it, and the success behind it.